look at Sebastian Bourdais. He got the lead away from the start, and exactly what Justin Wilson did not want, and a traffic jam at the back of the field. There's that Neil Jarney there with a problem, and also Robert Dornbos. Looks like he's lost the nose on that car. It's actually on the top there, I think, of Jan Helen's car. So a disaster for Robert Dornbos. He was leading a championship a couple of weeks ago, and now it's all gone wrong on the very first lap.
That was a very hectic start. We saw cars 3 wide into the hairpin here, and that is not easy to do. Let me tell you, that is a very tight corner, and Robert Dornbos, I think he just got so caught up that his car probably just stalled. I mean, they were going so slow at that point. This will have to bring out a full course caution, although it's not out yet. They might actually try and get him jump-started before the field comes around and avoid it, but it's going to be touch and go with such a short lap. And yes, the yellow flag has just come out. We are under caution.
Yeah, they tried desperately there to keep it from going full course caution, and these guys in the Holmatrow safety crew get as quick as they possibly can. But now here is Justin Wilson coming into the turn 1 chicane there, the Toyota hairpin, I should say, on the very first or the second lap now. But you can see he did make the best of the start. He got away ahead of Sebastian Bourdais, who I think has stalled it coming out of the hairpin now on under full course caution. James,
what is that? It's rolling again. I have no idea what's just happened there, Jeremy. And I don't know if he'll be able to take his spot back. I think he's legitimately lost those positions now.
I would say so. I mean, you know, that's going to, well, have to have a look and see here what happened. This is the result. This is what happened on the very first lap of the race, and you can see that Robert Dornbos rides up onto the top of Jan Helen's car. Well, Jan Helen's had absolutely no luck whatsoever this season. Catherine Legg is bottled up behind there as well, and it was. Yes, Sebastian Bourdais did take the lead at the start. I thought he did. Yeah. But Justin Wilson got that lead back by the end of that first lap. And here's this kerfuffle at the back there, and there is Robert Dornbos. As you say, just the car's going so slowly there, just wasn't able to keep the turbo spinning, keep the engine, getting enough revs to make any horsepower, and he stalls that engine, and he is now already gone 1 lap down. But then on that next lap, the big story there was Sebastian Bourdais. We saw him take the lead at the start, but it was definitely Justin Wilson that came around at the end of lap 1 in the lead of the race, and then under caution there up at the hairpin, coming out of the hairpin, that engine just would not pick up at all, and Sebastian Bourdais has fallen back to 8th place, James.
Very, very bizarre. I mean, he got a stellar launch. He actually was well ahead of Justin by the time they got to the brake zone for turn 1, and was just not able to hold on to it. So under caution right now, Justin Wilson leads here in San Jose.
So still under caution here in San Jose. Look at Jan Helen there in a Conquest Racing car. That is the nose cone of Robert Dornbos, perched very precariously over the engine cover of Jan Helen's car. The pits were closed, of course, as they always are when we go to full course caution. I'm sure they'll be opened up this time around. And as we just see the green light flash on here on our timing and scoring. So the pits are now open. Jan Helen will come onto pit lane. You would like as much downforce as you can on these cars, but not quite to that extent, James.
Yeah, normally you can't do anything too creative with the aerodynamics here, and obviously they're going to have to come in. As you see him diving into the pits now, he's got to get that wing off there. If I were him, I would have been shaking back and forth, left and right, trying to just shake it loose and save yourself having to come into the pits, but unfortunately that's not the case. We see another car dive in, Robert Dornbos, of course, coming in for the new front wing that we see attached to the back of Jan Helen's car.
That is exactly right. So he is onto pit lane as well. And it may not be all bad news for these guys. Generally, we're looking at a 3 pit stop race this afternoon. It's a complete new nose section on that car number 14, the Ozjet car of Robert Dornbos. But we reckon with about maybe 12 laps of caution, that will be enough to make it a 2 pit stop race for the contenders if they're running without saving too much fuel. So it's certainly early stage. We've only had a couple of laps of yellow at this stage, so it's certainly not enough to make this become a 2 pit stop race as opposed to a 3 pit stop race, used on the green flag conditions. But still, Jan Helen and Robert
car.
Here's a replay. We saw Justin Wilson lose the lead at the start, but that was at turn 2. Sebastian Bourdais left his braking a little bit too late, understeered wide. Justin Wilson said, "Thank you very much." But now Dan Clark has folded up, front wing has folded up beneath him. We must assume he must have had contact with the rear of Justin Wilson's car.
It must have been in the first corner, Jim. We saw a few cars getting quite in there, but we've got a full course caution again. We had just gone back to green flag racing, and we've got reports that Justin Wilson may be slow on the racetrack. Another bizarre. Bill Stevens in the pits.
Guys, it's just pandemonium down here in the Minardi pit. They just got through servicing Dornbos' car and putting a new nose on that, and moments later now they're having to do the same thing with Dan Clark. On Dornbos' car, they checked the suspension. They found there was nothing structurally wrong with it. They sent him away. They're hopeful that that's the same case with Dan's car.
And look at this, poor Justin Wilson. He took the pole. He was looking good at the front of the field. He got the lead back from Sebastian Bourdais after losing it initially at the start. But now he's just coasting down the pit lane. And his CDW crew have got to run all the way back down here now, push him into his pit stall. This is going to be losing him an awful lot of time.
This is just so bizarre. The top three starters have all hit drama in the first 3 laps of the race. Sebastian Bourdais going wide in the second corner rather after taking the lead, and then having a mysterious car failure temporarily, then got going again. Dan Clark's wing has gone under his car, and he must have had contact with this man, Justin Wilson, but who's now in the pits.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any damage to Justin's car, so maybe it just cut out for some reason, and that, you know, Dan Clark had nowhere to go, but it would appear there's no damage to the back end of this car, at least a cursory inspection from the pit lane. But in the meantime, we're getting ready. Let's have a look here as they come out of turn 6 there. Justin Wilson is coming out of the corner. You expect him to accelerate there. He clearly doesn't, and Dan Clark just gets into the back of it.
I think you're right, Jeremy. I think something happened on the CDW car. He just slowed up. And I know he does have right rear suspension damage there for sure.
Behind Justin Wilson there is car number 14. That is Robert Dornbos. And as we speculated a little while ago, the strategy appears to be playing out in his favor. Dornbos leads from Neil Jarni and Oriol Servia. We're under caution in San Jose, less than half an hour to go. This is the man who has just put on a clinic this afternoon. He's just taken full advantage of the fact that you never give up in the Champ Car World Series. You never know what's going to happen. There's all sorts of strategy to be played out, but you've got to take advantage of that strategy, and that is what Robert Dornbos has done. His lead now over Neil Jarni in second place, already out to 4.5 seconds, and about 3 minutes to go. There's probably just 3 laps to go in this race. And that is the lead that Robert Dornbos had over this group here. We've got Neil Jarni in second place, Oriol Servia in third, and Will Power, Sebastian Bourdais and Graham Rahal all in a trade. A little bit of a gap back to Bruno Junqueira. Behind Junqueira is Pagenaud and Tristan Gomandy. Jan Halen is the final car on the lead lap. Paul Tracy, having run out of fuel just disastrously for him. He's shown in 11th, having completed 101 laps. Mario Dominguez, he's still running another lap behind PT in 12th place. And then behind them are Alex Figge, Alex Tagliani, and potentially Justin Wilson is going to leapfrog up a couple of places in the very final stages of this race. There is that battle between Simon Pagenaud and Tristan Gomandy, the 2 Frenchmen battling over 8th and 9th. Quite a battle there, 2 Frenchmen there, and Tristan Gomandy, he was absolutely incensed that he got that drive-through penalty, and without the pit lane radio, the radio communication didn't know what it was, but there is that pass for position. You can see Pagenaud there on the red sidewall tyres, and Neil Jarni also is on the red sidewall tyres. The race leader, Robert Dornbos, is on the blacks, as is Tristan Gomandy, and it seems like the black tyres, as most of the teams thought they would be the hot ticket for the long runs at very warm conditions in San Jose.
And that's exactly what we just saw. That was pretty much a battle of the tires there. Pagenaud on the reds, quicker over 1 lap, but deteriorate, and the pace falls off more over a long stint. Gomandy also with a quick car, but with the more consistent tire, was able to, in the final laps of this race, just get a good run on Simone and make the move down into the first corner. So that will lift him up into the 8th position. Pagenaud relegated down to 9th. Jan Halen still running 10th for Conquest. Another top 10 finish on the cards for him, which is very, very good considering, again, caught up in a first turn incident.
And there's a couple of guys turning quick laps here in the closing stages. Oriol Servia has just turned his best lap of the race in 3rd position, as has Bruno Junqueira in 7th place. Bruno just had a 50.230. That's the 4th fastest lap of the race for Dale Coyne Racing. But here is Robert Dornbos here, just 1 lap to go. There is that one finger signal. One more lap. There's very calmly Michael Cannon over the radio to his charge, this man, Robert Dornbos. You
gotta love that guy. I got a little bit of a chance to get to know him last year when he was running with Forsyth, or sorry, he was working for Forsyth. I was running for Forsyth, and he's a phenomenal man. Is Michael Cannon, incredibly gifted as an engineer, very intelligent, and just a great personality as well. So he has done his job to perfection today, as has his driver, but there's still a battle being waged on track between 2 championship contenders fighting over the 4th position.
Yeah, we saw earlier in the race it was Will Power who made a move on Sebastian Bourdais, but here is Robert Dornbos. He comes down into turn 6 at one last time. The blue coat corner down the final straightaway here into Redback corner. A right-hand turn here into 2nd gear. He'll come up through the gearbox. The checkered flags are awaiting, and there they are. Robert Dornbos, the 2nd win of his career. Absolutely remarkable record that he has eked out in since joining the Champ Car World Series this year. He's had just podium finish after podium finish. This will be his 6th podium in just 9 starts, a remarkable record for Robert Doornbos. Actually, a better overall average than even Sebastian Bourdais, who holds just about any record that can be held in the Champ Car World Series, considering how short a time he's been in this championship. But that was just a brilliant performance by this entire team, but particularly hats off to Robert Doornbos for a great drive. He turned it on when he had to.
Robert Doornbos taking his 2nd win of the season over Neil Johnny and Oriol Servia. A bit of an unpredictable podium here. I don't think too many people would have called that one when the green flag fell on this race. Will Power finishing 4th ahead of Sebastian Bourdais, was not gaining back as many points as he would have liked. And Graham Rahal, impressive to come back to 6th after that rookie mistake stalling in the pits.
Yeah, that's right. He was running strongly in the early stages, had certainly an up and down weekend, 2 crashes on Friday, but to come away with a top 6 finish, he'll be delighted with that. And Paul Tracy in 11th, the confirmation that Justin Wilson did get up to 13th, so 2 valuable championship points. Here is Robert Doornbos, and Cameron Steele is with our race winner.
Well, it looks like an exhausted Robert Doornbos. We have Paul Stoddard down here, Keith Wiggins and team owners congratulating him. Robert, would you have ever thought coming from 15th position you would have brought home the checkers today?
Do you like that? Do you like that? I like it. What a race, man. What a race. Thanks all the boys. I mean, the car was great. It's so much bad luck the whole weekend, so I'm really, really happy now.
What about with the accident early in the race? What happened? The chaos ensues. The checkered flags are waving. My questions at this point are meaningless as the champagne is flying and he is going crowd surfing with the team. That's how Bobby D rocks it in victory lane.
Bobby D.
Robert Doornbos there, brilliant effort by him. That was just a tremendous drive. Thanks, Cameron Steele. And he's a real character, this Robert Doornbos. Really not very particularly well known at all, but he's done an excellent job this afternoon and deservedly coming away with his 2nd victory of the campaign. And that is going to cement his 2nd position in the championship. And Cameron Steele.
All right, well, we got back over here with Robert Doornbos. We were calling you Bobby D. The accident in the first lap, what happened? Talk to us about it.
I mean, I knew it when we had such a bad qualifying. Basically, we couldn't run at all in quali, and then we start from the back. And you know you're in trouble then in the tight hairpin like that. So I was stopped. I was standing still, and still I hit somebody, and I climbed over somebody. And I mean, we got back to the pits, changed the nose, and then the car just felt good. I mean, the steering angle was bent, so I was on the straight, a bit leaning to the left. But I saw Yanni struggle, and I passed him, and this was mine. I feel it, so it's a great way to finish 2 bad weekends.
Congratulations, there you have it. Bobby D rocking home the gold trophy.